Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the May edition of our Market Wraps. I'm Pintado, Director at Buxton, Bentleigh. Let's give you a snapshot into what's taken place in this changing market here in both the 3204 and the 3165 postcodes. As all of you know, you watch the media, you watch the news, you read the paper, the market has certainly taken a shift. Now we are coming off an all-time high, some 25 to 40% growth in our suburbs that we operate in the last 2 years post-COVID. Now what we've seen is the market turn back to normal. It's not going crazy, we're not having 7-8 bidders at our auctions anymore. We are now in a normal real estate market. I love these sorts of markets. The really good agents, well, the cream rises to the top. They manage to outperform the other agents that have perhaps let the market do the heavy lifting for them. For you as a seller, if you're priced right, the market is brilliant. However, what we've found is if you're slightly above or maybe a little bit bullish in terms of what you're hoping to achieve, well, the chances are that your days on market will likely blow out. Now, before I give you the top 5 sales and the auction clearance rates on average for the month, there are 2 topical things that I did want to talk about. The first of which, on a less positive note, is that the RBA has increased interest rates for 2 months consecutively. Now, they've just raised it 50 basis points to 0.85%. I am filming this video in the start of June, so I do just want to put this into context for you. 0.85% is still a very, very low interest rate. When you think about it in context, my parents and a lot of the clients that I speak to, well, when they bought their properties, they were paying 17, 18, 19% interest rates on their mortgages. This has been done to combat inflation, and obviously it's something that we're going to need to keep a very close eye on. Yes, it will affect the market. It will have an effect on people's borrowing capacity, and obviously that will have an on-flow effect in terms of auction clearance rates. However, as I mentioned at the start of the video, this is what a normal real estate market looks like. Now, the second point that I wanted to talk about very briefly on a more positive note is the REB has actually just released their top 50 agents in Victoria. We had about 15 agents in the top 50 across our Buxton network, and I was very fortunate to place 50th within that 50. So I just wanted to say thank you to you before we get into the results. It's an absolute honour. I'm very grateful and humbled by that. Now, the auction clearance rates on average for the month. The 3204 postcode had an average clearance rate of 79%. And the average days on market actually increased by 4.5 days. It's actually not that much considering what we're seeing on the ground. The 3165 postcode had an auction clearance rate of 79% and an increase in 1.5 days on market. Now we are seeing a lot less stock levels come onto the market. We are moving into winter. That is a very typical seasonal change that we see across the real estate market throughout Victoria and throughout Australia. The number 1 sale that our office was involved in was number 14 Lorac Avenue in Brighton, a beautiful single level architectural home. That property sold over a reserve of $3.1 million for $3.75 million. Number 2, number 31 Centre Road in Brighton East, a period home, beautifully renovated, and that sold prior to auction for $3,211,000. Third was a totally off-market sale that I was directly involved in. It was a bit of a difficult one. It was on 565 square metres of land. It was a 6 or 7 year old Henley home. And that was 5 bedrooms, and that sold off-market for $2.72 million and settles today. Number 4 was number 716 Hawthorne Road in Brighton East. Very big land, and that property sold for $2.15 million. Now last but certainly not least was number 13B Vale Street in Bentleigh, a brand new 4-bedroom townhouse, and that sold for $1.768. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the market wrap for May. I can't wait to see you next month in June. Hope you're all well, stay safe, and I'll see you then.